Thank you very much for joining me on this Wednesday. I'm meteorologist Brian Shields. Look at what's happening. One front here, another one here. And yes, this front is going to clip us by in the Caribbean. I was talking about this last week. It is going to dive down into the northern Caribbean, not for all of us, but watching a pattern change. And yes, by this weekend, there are going to be some cooler nights ahead. Now, just to give you a feel of what's going on, this kind of magenta shading, this is the colder air here. And just taking it from today into the weekend, and look how it starts to dive down behind the front. And let me take you into about Sunday. This would be Sunday morning. That colder air starting to dive down into the Gulf of Mexico, and some of that will creep our way in the northern Caribbean. So we have a pattern change ahead. Now, let me show you the setup and what's going on. I mentioned the weather. It's always tied together. Hurricane season, we're looking at Africa. This time of year, we're looking to the north. We look toward Mexico, up toward the United States, Canada. Well, here's that front, and you see it again over toward Texas especially, and swinging back toward parts of Arkansas and Louisiana. Good deal of rain with it. And this is a little more to the south. So there's been some fronts that have moved by, some bigger ones lately, but the parent storm system, the main energy from it has been to the north. This one's a little more to the south, which means the tail end of it is going to go right through the Gulf of Mexico into parts of the Caribbean as soon as this weekend. And you see that rain feeding in as this system gets its act together. Kind of a slow mover over the next couple days as it continues to march its way off to the east. But it will be that tail end of the front that will eventually move into our direction across the Caribbean and bring us some cooler nights starting Saturday night, Sunday morning. We're going to notice a change, especially over toward Belize, the Cayman Islands, parts of Cuba, Jamaica. We're going to be on the edge of this. Now, right now, scattered clouds, still some of the overcast conditions at times for some of us. What's happening here is we have some low-level clouds and some high-level clouds going in two different directions, but they're really meeting over St. Lucia, Barbados, and south. That's why yesterday, Trinidad and Tobago, St. Vincent, and the Grenadines, Grenada, we had some extra cloud cover, even some of those showers around. So I always like to let you know kind of what I'm seeing out there and why. Now, this is what's going on for today. Easterly flow, spotty showers, Trinidad south, a better chance. So hit or miss showers. Some of us are going to get them. Some of us won't. Guyana, Suriname, better chance. And then watching here, mainly dry, but Colombia over toward Panama. Caribbean side, we have been getting rocked with those higher seas. Keep me posted in the comments. I'll get to those seas in just a second. Moving forward into tomorrow. This is tomorrow. Spotty shower, Mexico, as we get back through Belize. Could see a couple Honduras. And then you see here on the edge of it, this is the overcast conditions. Still some of those high clouds kind of streaming in. Barbados, St. Lucia, Dominica, Guadeloupe, Martinique will be on the edge of it. More of that cloud cover down to the south, back through Venezuela. Spotty shower by Friday afternoon. Haiti, Dominican Republic, Puerto Rico, we could see a few. Still some of the extra clouds. I'll be watching that. Trinidad and Tobago, better chance of some spotty showers on Friday afternoon. But look at this. This is what I was talking about. Here's that front on Friday starting to make its way closer to the Yucatan of Mexico. And then this will press in for the weekend, increase the rain chance for some of us. And yes, bring some of those cooler days and cooler nights. Let me show it to you here with the winds. This is today. Now, we have that easterly flow. I mentioned a spotty shower. Winds are higher here, watching over toward Colombia. Winds that are gusting over 56 kilometers an hour or 35 miles per hour. That kind of pinker shading there. Gusty winds, higher seas here, but an easterly to southeasterly flow, which means we stay on the warm side. That's why we're going to be very warm in Jamaica. I'll get into that in a second. But look what happens. There's the front. You can kind of see the arrows changing. Let me just stop it here. This is by the time we get into Sunday, and the front's sitting somewhere here. So still wait and see how far to the south it goes. But a northerly flow, north coast of Honduras, northerly wind on Sunday over toward Cuba, on the edge of it in Jamaica and the Bahamas. So the front sitting somewhere here. Still a wait and see on how much of a kick it gets across. If it does kind of get across Jamaica and Haiti, I'll be watching out for that. But eventually, as we get into late Sunday and early next week, the Bahamas, Turks and Caicos, there will be that cool down with the wind shift. Winds are almost everything when it comes to weather. So Trinidad and Tobago today, watching for some of those extra clouds. I'll see how that shakes out. I mentioned some of the overcast conditions we've had at times. A 30% chance of that passing shower possible. St. Kitts and Nevis, rain chance down to about 20%, but a quick passing shower possible. So you may get one, but it won't last too long. Jamaica, we are turning hotter. I showed you a minute ago. Those winds out of the southeast, more of that southeasterly flow, hotter, near 90 degrees Fahrenheit, 32 degrees Celsius, rain chance 40%. Hopefully you get a shower passing by. I know we need it for our farmers, thinking of agriculture as always. But here's that pocket of the higher seas I was talking about, north side of Panama, Colombia. Look at that building even more so tonight into tomorrow. Hopefully this relaxes some in a couple days, but we could be dealing with the high seas here. We're talking 4 meters, upwards of 13, 14 feet in spots. And of course, the Atlantic as a whole has been a little bit choppier with some of those systems moving by. So keep an eye on those choppy seas. Always thinking of our captains that are and mariners that are part of this weather community. So spotty showers on the move today. That front building near Texas, that's the one I showed you. That'll drop into the Gulf late week, and that will arrive in our northern zones this weekend. It will be interesting to see some of that cooler weather in some spots. Got you covered. Keep me posted in the comments. Thank you for taking the time to subscribe to this channel. Share it with your friends and family. Have a great rest of your day.